welcome back, party people. So, how did your journaling go? Please tell me all about it and all the other exercises. Are we feeling good about this? Am I missing the mark on something? Holler back at your girls so we can make this beneficial for everybody. Like I'm learning and growing as well. So, let me know how it went. How did any of the writing prompts trigger you? Did you end up accessing something you had forgotten about? Let's just share with me how it went. And also share with me if you've gotten your red on. Did you rock red this week? Did you rock black? Did you put a stone in your bra? Like I always keep a stone in my bra. Depending on what I'm working on. Did you just let me know what did you do to make these first 2 days in our a root shot amazing? Holla at your girl. And now we're gonna move on. Today we're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna get into how to know if you have a blocked root chakra or if it's overactive, and some things that we can do to address that, I think. Yeah. So yeah, today we're going to talk about how to know if you have an underactive or overactive root. And that's big because that's going to help guide you in your actions as for what should be next. So happy Wednesday, sending light and love, peace and blessings, much appreciation, all the positive energy. Let's get right into it. Hey, party people. Okay, cool. So I think I learned how to move me around so I'm not blocking your flow. All right, so moving right along. Today we're going to talk about several things. So, excuse me. The unbalanced chakra can manifest in one of several levels, right? Including physical, etheric, emotional, mental, and spiritual. My hope today is that we fully understand that we are never sick. We are never sick. We are imbalanced. Unbalanced energy creates sickness. Write that down in your workbook. Unbalanced energy creates sickness. We are not sick. We are imbalanced energetically. If there is a physical root imbalance, then there's some symptoms we might have. So let's talk about that. But understand that these imbalances happen first on an energetic level and then on a physical level. So if there's a physical root imbalance, we may experience things like being overweight or trying to control our weight through unhealthy methods. You might be fatigued. You might have lower back pain or sexual dysfunction. Hey, how about that? You might have restlessness or blood disorders, menstrual issues, yeast infections, and prostate or rectal issues. Okay. There we go. All right, let me move me out of the way again. So, where are we? An etheric balance speaks to the memories or the programming your body is holding on to, right? Memories or programming from your faith, from your family, and from your culture. Your memories, your belief system may be stopping you from progressing in life and being comfortable in your own skin. Let me give an example of that. I grew up in a heavily Christian household, right? I come from a long, long line of Baptist ministers. Now, I knew at a very young age that my Afrocentricity, my African centeredness was important to me. And I began studying very young, and I was the black sheep in my family. But I still had to go to church. I was a child. In the black community, you do what your mama tells you to do. So I still went to church. I still was surrounded by my Baptist grandfather, my Baptist uncles, my Baptist cousins, preachers, right? And so I navigated both worlds. And then when I got old enough and I turned 17 and I went away to college, I really was able to explore more of who I wanted to be. However, it still did not align with the values that I have been raised with. And so I had to play this balancing act. And I still had some of those Christian beliefs that didn't serve me anymore. Now, I'm not anti-Christian at all. At all. I'm saying there were some things I was taught that didn't serve me anymore. And I wasn't operating from that paradigm. So that creates an etheric imbalance. And that can cause you to operate against your beliefs. I have a saying that most people don't believe what they believe. Most people don't believe what they believe. And that causes an imbalance that's never going to serve you. It's going to cause illness and sickness and all kinds of stuff. And what I mean by that is, if you are a Christian and you don't believe in premarital sex, but you're having premarital sex, do you really believe what you believe? Right? Maybe you're not a Christian in that regard, right? Maybe you're not. Maybe you believe in the Bible and that's it. Or maybe you believe in some of the other Christian values you were taught, but you can't say you believe something and not adhere to its tenets. So if you don't believe what you believe, then you're creating an etheric imbalance in your root chakra, and all your chakras, but in your root chakra. Okay. So that might be causing you to do some things, and then the next day you're beating yourself up about it. You feel guilty about it. It's not serving you. It's not serving your energy body well, and it's going to cause problems in other areas. So also, etherically speaking, maybe you were taught through example or directly that say something like domestic violence is okay, and that sex is the only weapon women have, or that you have to depend on somebody else to take care of you, right? Maybe you got those types of messages as you were growing up, directly or through example. And now those are things that you don't subscribe to, and you're having a hard time navigating those different beliefs. But that's something you're going to have to address to figure out what you believe, because your actions must align with your beliefs. Otherwise, it creates an imbalance. Say word, word. Now, what are we on? Mental imbalance. So a mental imbalance in the Asor Arushat might cause a person to constantly be living in survival mode. You might be excessively negative or excessively critical. You might feel like you are powerless. And if you feel like you're powerless, it's going to lead to poor decision making. So if you're making a bunch of bad decisions repeatedly, and after you make the decision, you're saying, why did I make that decision? It might be indicative of a root chakra imbalance. And then emotionally speaking, an emotional imbalance in the Asor Arushat, or the Shango chakra, might make you feel angry or short-tempered or belligerent. You might be impatient or aggressive or insecure or anxious, or you may never feel like you're completely safe. Like you're always worried that something's going to happen. You don't feel safe in your house. You don't feel safe at your job. You don't feel safe in your relationships. You just feel a sense of a lack of safety, right? And then spiritually speaking, there might be a spiritual imbalance that will make you feel spacey, kind of lost in your thoughts. I know somebody who's that way, like you're so spacey, like just never, it's like, huh? Like, ooh, you need to get your root right. Again, that's my new saying, y'all. You need to get your root right. And then also you might have addictions to food, addictions to gambling, drinking, people. I mean, without a doubt, if you have any type of an addiction, you have a root chakra imbalance. I say that emphatically. You have a root chakra imbalance. If your root chakra is blocked, then the circulation of energy overall will be affected. It will be affected. So let's talk about how to heal the root chakra, because it's important to focus your time and your energy on healing it. And remember, you want to focus on one energy center at a time. One energy at a time, because jumping around doesn't give the attention and intention to healing that it respects, that it deserves. Okay. Child, this thing don't quit jumping around. Okay. Let me see if I can move me out of your way. So let's talk about healing a blocked is the key word, a blocked Osiris energy center, right? Sorry. So healing one chakra, I just want to mention, if you heal one chakra at a time, it helps to reinforce and strengthen the supply of energy that's going to be circulated to the other ones, right? So if you kind of work on one chakra a little bit, another one, then you're not really allowing it to expand full enough or close just right so that it can share the circulation of energy with the other ones. So let's just do one at a time. All right, so let's talk about now how to heal a blocked Osiris energy center. And then we'll look at how to know if you have an overactive energy center. So am I on the right page? So let's talk about psychological symptoms related to a blocked chakra. Okay. If you have any of these psychological symptoms, then you probably need to do some root chakra work. If you have any type of irrational fears, an inability to focus, any type of flightiness, disorganization, poor self-discipline, poor boundaries, poor sense of self, or financial problems, then you probably need to look at your psychological, at your root chakra. Now, disorganization is a big one. I can always tell if somebody has root chakra problems by looking at their surroundings. If it's always disorganized, always. Now, we all get disorganized from time to time, but I'm talking about if you live in a constant state of disorganization, I immediately know you need to get your root right. Get your root right. I should put that on a t-shirt. Do y'all think I should put that on a t-shirt? Let me know. Anyway, and then if somebody has a hard time paying attention, which we talked about, that flightiness, and then if there's no self-discipline, like if you say I'm going to do something and you're going to focus your efforts in a particular area and then you don't because the wind blows right, then that's very indicative of a blocked energy center. Poor sense of self. If you don't know who you are, I know someone very close to me who becomes the people she's with. It used to irritate the hell out of me, but that's indicative of a blocked root energy center. Okay. So again, people with constant financial worries or irresponsible financial behavior often have blocked root chakras, right? They're often they're just very careless with money, right? Might have a blocked root chakra. Or if you're always worried about it, like, oh, I don't have money, root chakra issues, which goes back to your having your basic needs met, right? So now let's talk about, if I can get my slide to change, what is the problem, people? Here we go there. Here we go. So let's talk about, nope, that didn't. The blocked symptoms, the physical symptoms of a blocked root arusha. So if you have a blocked arusha, again, we're still talking about a blocked energy center. You might constantly be getting sick. You might have insomnia. You might have diet disorders, or you tend to jump around from different types of dieting, or you have extreme versions of it by having anorexia or bulimia or something like that. You are constipated often. If you have bowel disorders, if you have pain in your feet or your legs or your knees, put that on there too. If you have skin problems or disorders of the bone, that can also be indicative of a blocked root chakra. Now, again, there are charts in your workbook for you to fill this information out. So make sure you do that. So now let's talk about what symptoms might be present if you have an overactive root chakra. So first we're going to talk about the psychological symptoms. Where are we? So if you are psychologically blocked, you might have symptoms of greed, fear of change, materialism, an obsession with money, the inability to be generous, somebody who's just real stingy all the time. Hoarders. Oh, hoarders. God bless you. Again, that goes back to the organization piece. If you just disorganized, you might have a blocked one. But if you are holding on to everything and you have in your mind, an organizational system, you might have an overactive one. If you're a workaholic or if you are obsessed with routines, like this is routines. That's supposed to say routines. Y'all don't talk about me. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's supposed to be E there for all you smart asses out there. Anyway, if you're obsessed with routines, like you can't deviate from, what you do every day, then you probably have an overactive root chakra. And also those who are obsessed with material gain tend to have overactive root chakras. Now let's talk about the symptoms of having an overactive root chakra, the physical symptoms of having an overactive root chakra. So physically, things might manifest like obesity, overeating, addictions, sleeping too much, fatigue, low energy, heavy feet. Oh my God. I remember a period in my life when I have had heavy feet, and I'm a very small woman. And I remember my boss would say, I can always tell when it's you coming because you walk so heavy. And I was like, I do walk heavy. I don't know why. That was like, oh gosh, almost 20 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. I get it now, but a very heavy foot is an overactive root chakra. It's like demanding your place, right? So anyway, root chakra issues can occur if you are too open to others at your own expense, or if you are so close to other people that you never develop a close and genuine relationship. Right. Sorry, I had to make sure I was right on the money. So moving along. There we go. As I mentioned before, the root chakra is associated with the adrenal glands. As we all know, the adrenal glands are responsible for fight, flight, or freeze. Now, maybe we don't know. We got to go back to school, y'all. I ain't trying to get too deep. But our adrenal hormones are responsible for fight, flight, or freeze, and the releasing of the hormones associated with those states. So many of us are pushing too hard. And that means we're pushing too much adrenaline into our systems, resulting in root chakra issues. We're pushing too much adrenaline, right? It's causing our bodies to be in that constant fight or flight mode. The root chakra is all about empowerment. So if you operate from a victim mentality, you need to do root chakra work. So the first thing you can do is accept that we create our own realities. You have to accept that. We create our own realities, which is intimately connected to time. And there's a chart in your workbook for this as well. If your root chakra is blocked, you probably lose track of time often. If your root chakra is balanced, then you probably use your time wisely. Like you seem to get a lot done with your time. I know somebody who's like, I don't know what happened to the time all the time, every day, never knows what happens to the time. That's a problem, right? So you don't play with your time and you don't let others play with your time. I wrote that down. You don't play with your time and don't allow others to play with your time. Now, there's a whole lot of things in this world that you can get back. You can always make more money, make new friends, whatever. But the one thing you can never, ever get back is time. You can never get your time back. So do not play with your time. But time is intimately connected with the ability to say no. Just say no, right? If your root chakra is weak, you probably have a hard time saying no. But knowing who you are, what you will and will not do, and what you have time for is the result of a strong root chakra. Knowing who you are, what you will and won't do, and what you have time for is indicative of having a strong root chakra. And you have the right to defend your time by saying no. You have the right. You do not have to be obligatory to anybody. Okay? A strong root chakra reminds you that you are here for you, which is intimately connected to personal freedom. You are here for you, which is intimately connected to personal freedom. So the root chakra is all about freedom. Although you should value your time, you have to value your time. You should not become obsessed with control. That's all about balance, right? Over planning your life takes away from your freedom to exist and your freedom to be in the moment. Be present. A healthy root chakra not only means that you can say no, but it also means that you can go with the flow without being overly rigid. Like you can't be rigid. Sometimes you have to just go with the flow. Okay. Do not become obsessed with control because you're trying to control your time, right? Don't take it to the extreme. But going with the flow and not being rigid is intimately connected to conflict. If you enjoy or if you look for conflict, I know people who enjoy it, and so do you. So if you enjoy conflict or if you're looking for conflict, then you need to do some root chakra work. If you know somebody like that, tell them they need to work their root. Your root is overblown. If you don't stand up or speak up for yourself, then your root chakra is closed. So those are two ends. So if you are always looking for conflict, your root chakra is overblown. And if you don't speak up for yourself or stand up for yourself, then your root chakra is closed. So we are going to dive into on Friday what to do to heal it. What techniques we actually have that will heal our root chakras. So take some time to write in your workbooks, answer a few more of your journal prompts. And on Friday, we're going to go all the way in with some healing techniques that you can carry with you forever. And then I will also introduce Asor and Shango to you. Until next time or until Friday, peace and blessings, light and love. I appreciate you. I value you. And because of you, I am and will always be. So again, thank you. Sending light and love, peace and blessings. And I will see you on Friday. I can't get it to stop. Oh, come on. I guess it's not time for me to end this. You know, sometimes the universe wants me to do what it wants me to do. All right. So at this point, I'll just say, are there any questions or concerns? I will put a chat box up there so you can ask me any questions or concerns. I do get the responses and I will address them either in another video or I will email you directly or and hope we can talk about it. So answer the questions about any questions or concerns you might have and or something I need to clarify, and I will make sure I get back to you. All right. So now my computer is kind of acting right. So until next time, peace and blessings.